Hi everybody, welcome back to Battlefield 1, and as I was making some of these videos to commemorate the 10 years of Battlefield 1, this amazing game, and encouraging people to pick up the game again and reinstall it again, and maybe encourage new players to play it again, I thought, well, wait a minute, maybe I should do some tutorials as well, about to do some different things with the game. So what I thought of doing this one is I just want to show you how you can customize your soldier, your different loadouts, your different weapons and different kit that you can use. And so I'm going to be doing this. This is the PC version of Battlefield 1. That's why I'm only level 15 instead of level 150, which I think I am on PlayStation. So I'm doing this with the controller, but obviously you could use this with mouse and keyboard as well. And if we go over to soldier in the top menu, then come down with our D-pad or use your mouse and keyboard, you'll see we have customized soldier here. This is the key we have to go into first. So if we go in and we select that, we can then have our soldier. Now, if you look at the bottom of the screen in the middle, you'll see we've got the different icons for assault, medic, support, and the sniper class. And so we can go backwards and forwards. And within each class, we also can have 3 different loadouts. So, for example, I am in the assault class at the moment. So if I go up and down with my D-pad, you can see we can change that. And if we go to the top, see it says assault 1, right on my D-pad, assault 2, assault 3, the back to assault 1. So we can have these different presets within each particular class as well. So for medics, for support, and for sniper, you can have 3 different classes. Now, let's go in and have a look at these guns for the assault. So I've got the MP18 optical. Now, Battlefield 1 was quite unusual in the fact that we don't have attachments. Each gun will have a few different versions which will have different attachments already on them. So with the MP18 submachine gun, there's kind of the trench version, which is kind of iron sights. The optical, which has a little glass sight on. Not sure what the experimental has on. Not sure. But often it will be things like they'll have maybe an extended magazine, or they'll have a scope, or maybe a silencer or something like that. But they kept it very nice and simple. One of the things you may want to do is do a quick Google search or a YouTube search for something like best guns for classes in Battlefield 1 to pick up, which guns really are the best ones. I'm really just using my favourites that have been around a long time, but things like the Automatico are really good as well. And you've got a lot of things like shotguns, different one. In fact, the Rib Royales, that is a great gun, that one. Now, you'll notice that I may well have more guns unlocked than you. And then I've also got some guns that aren't unlocked. One of the things I would recommend you do is, if you've got this on Steam or on Xbox or PlayStation, in the store, find the shortcut kits. So this is on Steam, as you can see, and we've got the shortcuts down here, and I think you can add them to your, let's have a look. If we go into the shortcut kit, can you wishlist? Yeah, you can wishlist them. So wait for them to go on sale, and in fact the one you want is the Ultimate Bundle shortcut kit, and that will unlock a lot of the weapons. Otherwise, you've got to do various missions to unlock them. So if we come out of this and go to community missions, no, not that one, service assignments, sorry, you can go in and you can see the various things you can do to unlock various things as well. In fact, if you're in the game when you select the weapons, it tells you what you've got to do to unlock them. I don't think it does in this screen. Let me go down. Hell Regal Defensive. Yeah, it doesn't really tell me what I need, but there'll be different things you have to do to unlock them. But if you do get the unlock packs, you get more than enough guns to play around with. And to be honest, even if you don't get those, you get more than enough guns to play around with. As you can see, we've got our main weapon, our sidearm, and our gadgets. So we get 2 gadgets for each side of the D-pad. And then we got our grenade, which is top left shoulder button, and then our melee weapon. And then this is the one people tend to forget about, specializations. So if we click on here, we can see each soldier can have 3 specializations, and they all mean different things. So flak, incoming damage from explosions reduced by 10%, cover suppression reduced by 25%, quick regen, decreased time before out of combat hero by 20%. Now these are only very small changes, But what you can do is if you click on one, you can then see different things you might have. So enemy spotted by you remain spotted for 25% longer. So that would be very good for, say, a sniper class, or maybe even a support class where you're engaging enemies at a distance, so you're not going to be in close quarters combat. And as you can see, there's lots of things you can unlock. I never really bothered that much with this, but it's definitely a part of the game that can make a difference, because the thing about Battlefield 1 now is that, yes, thousands of people are still playing it, but it's not tens of thousands of people or hundreds of thousands of people anymore. So often you may well be on a server where you're suffering from quite a bit of latency, which means that you can get shot round corners, and it may appear that you lose gunfights an awful lot of time. So any advantage you can give yourself through something like a specialization is definitely worth having. So go through the different loadouts and set yourself up. I would recommend, actually, for assault, I would go MP18, rocket gun, and the anti-tank grenade and anti-tank grenades, the normal ones. That gives you a really good fighting chance to take out armor as they're going along. I think with your medic, the syringe is very good, and then the bandage pouch rather than the box, because the bandage pouch is easier to, you can throw it at people. So if you're at the front with the assaults charging along to take objectives, as they're taking damage, you can just be throwing bandages at them to heal them, and that can be very handy. And of course the medical syringe, which you use to stab them with and to take them up. And again, I tend to go with anti-tank grenades with everybody, so that, you know, if a tank comes around the corner, excuse me, or an armoured car, you can do your bit and fire off a grenade at them. Weapon-wise, it's tricky, because they're all sort of semi-automatic weapons. I like the Mondragon Optical. The Seblaster Marksman is good. The M1907 Trench, I think that's a really fast-firing gun, that one as well. One of the ultimate things to get, actually, as a medic is to unlock eventually the Fedorov. So the Fedorov is basically a fully automatic assault rifle, so that can be very good. And then I'm a sucker, really, for the Lewis gun when I'm playing a support. I normally go with the ammo crate and the mortar. Now, the mortar isn't as good as it used to be. They nerfed it quite a lot in the latter stages of Battlefield 1. And in fact, probably the better weapon is the crossbow launcher, high explosives, or frag. But I just like using the mortar, even though it doesn't kill that many soldiers anymore. And the, where were we? The MG15 suppressive is very cool as well, because it has a massive magazine and a really nice optical sight. And then sniping, it's a bit of a skill, but something like the SMLE, you can't go wrong with that. And when you eventually unlock it, the Martini Henry is a lot of fun, because it's a one-shot kill, fairly close up. The way that the snipers work in Battlefield 1 is, if you look in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see the damage drop. And if you look at the line, so the line is telling you how much damage the gun does. But see how it jumps up at 75 meters and then goes back down again at probably about 100 meters. So what happens is different guns, different sniper rifles in the game have a different damage boost at different ranges. So if we look at the Martini Henry, we can see that its boost is really close up. It does a lot more damage close up and goes really high. Whereas if we were to go for something like change to a Russian 1895, oh, there we go, like the Gewehr 98, we can see that its kind of one-shot kill capability is much further, a different distance, if you like, further away. And that's how they kind of balance the different sniper rifles in Battlefield 1, that they would... It's very counterintuitive, and it doesn't really make sense, but it does make sense in the game. Right, so there we go. So have a lot of fun with that. Do a lot of messing around, play around with different guns, find what works for you. When you're in a game and you're getting killed by people, see what guns they're using as well, and kind of put them into your loadouts. But hopefully this has given you some ideas on how to customize your soldier within Battlefield 1 to go out and have some fun, get on the battlefield, and yeah, enjoy this absolutely amazing game 10 years after it was released. So that's enough from me. If you've got any questions about Battlefield 1, please let me know. I mean, there's lots of content obviously out there if you just do a Google search or a YouTube search. But if there's something you can't come across, let me know in the comments, and you never know, I might be able to make a video about it. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again soon.